From LALATE News Headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Mornings LALATE.
It's finally here. That $1,400 third stimulus check has finally arrived. In an latest wave, the $1,400 third stimulus check went out Friday, was available for relief and withdrawal on Friday among some of the banks like Chime and Cash App. And then for the remainder of the banks, appeared Saturday morning for direct deposit this coming Wednesday, April 7th. Congratulations, the tow truck has finally passed over the finish line. The $1,400 third stimulus check is here. But now the focus is the other items in the third stimulus package. They're crashing right away, and the payment time for them is pushing on the horizon. The money is first come, first serve, and in this recording I'm going to go over the big money. I'll also go over why the items that were talking in 2020 never came to fruition, and why suddenly the fourth stimulus package's numbers are so incredibly bigger and could absolutely pay you a lot more money if we get that to the finish line. Also, I'll be going over some standalone bills that are happening as well. New video from the White House, both from the press secretary and from the president himself. It's a big morning with Mornings LALATE as I go over all the details this early mornings about what children are getting paid and what enormous sum of $65,000 could be on the horizon. It's a big early mornings broadcast, and let's get right to it, starting right now. Is toast and the butter is buttering. I'm here, you're here. And could children be getting $65,000 under the Biden administration? I'll have all those details and more on a big Sunday Easter, or Easter Sunday. I sort of inverted that there. How are you? Expect me to dress up as a bunny? It's just not happening. I am not coming on set with some ears. And a furry thing on the front of my face. No, that is for the bedroom. Just kidding. I can only wear so many costumes from the bedroom on set. So there you go. It's just not happening. If you just spit out your coffee, I'm sorry. The toast is toast and the butter is butter, and I'm here, you're here, and the bunny costume is just not happening. But thank you for joining me on Early Mornings LA. It's a great morning. Congratulations, that $1,400 stimulus check finally landed. I'll have all those details and more, but if you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. You know, I know how it is. It's Easter weekend. You may have been out and about. You may have been missing videos. So give this channel some love. If you're tuning into this video later throughout the day when it's not live, please watch it. Watch the videos throughout the day. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. It's birthday month, and we're trying to get to 400,000 subscribers, so hit it real hard. Also, like this video. Let's try to do 2,000-3,000 likes, and let's consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power Cow, CNO VIP. Thank you for all the new members who joined yesterday. Let me get to the breaking news. The breaking news first is that $1,400 third stimulus check. It went out from Treasury on Friday morning, as I told you it would. I also told you certain banks would release the funds on Friday. They did release the funds. Those banks that released the funds on Friday are the following: Cash App, Chime, Bancorp, NetSpend, MetaBank, also Varo, California Bank and Trust, and Green Dot. Hopefully I got all those recapped. Meantime, Saturdays came with a big shocker, several shockers. Let me start with one you've never heard before on Early Mornings LA. If you go to that IRS tool and it shows no results, Margie Eason on Afternoons LA found a hack to it. She said if you type in the address in all caps, it fixes the problem. That if it shows no results for your name, type in the address in all caps. And a few viewers who were in the live chat when she said that said, oh my God, it works for me too. So try that fixer. That's one I have never heard in nearly, now a year of this channel. You learn something every day. But yesterday, Saturday morning, started with millions of viewers. This channel's finally getting the result that there's a pending deposit for April 7th. Every big bank, small bank, direct express by Comerica, congratulations across the board. It's just really incredible news. April 7th, away we go. Meantime, those mail checks are just late. If you're the March 26th mail check, I had viewers have it show up yesterday. The April 2nd to April 5th check is showing up on time so far. And the new surpriser is that this wave that went out yesterday, or now it's Friday, that has a April 9th mail check. So you may be in the mail as well. I told you that 2021 will be a year in which you're cashing checks, not tracking checks. And that's where this channel's going now. Now that so many of you have those checks coming, it's important for you to understand that third stimulus money is about to hit, the other part of it. So I want you to get that $5, $10, $15, $20,000 money right now, not 5 days from now, not 5 weeks from now. I want you to get that other money, and I'm going to go over it starting right now in time frame chronological. The next one that's likely to hit for availability is the rent, the utilities, the mortgage, the homeowner's help, and similar things like that. Last Thursday, the president signed the CDC eviction moratorium to extend it to June or September approximately. I can't remember the date. It's important to know that this is likely the final run of that CDC eviction moratorium. Why? Because they want you to get this money for the rent or the homeowner's assistance now. They're not going to keep on. This is probably going to be the last rodeo ride for this. So what's important to understand for that rent and utilities is it's much easier than you think it is on a national level. Now, remember, the rent and utilities is done by the federal government by guidance, but it's not paid out by the federal government. To get it, you have to apply for your city, county, and state. And this is what you need to know, that there's some money in states at the state level and at the county level and at the city level. So if you reach out to one, as one viewer said, I don't like what the state said to me, then reach out to the county. You don't have to be necessarily behind on rent, because the federal level, the federal guidance, at least if they follow it, which they may choose not to, says it can be financial hardship directly or indirectly because of the pandemic. Now, that is rent and also utilities for rentors, but then for property owners, it's the mortgage, whether privately or public federal mortgage, and then also help with other homeowners' expenses. Those are all sort of all over the place. You know, it may include property taxes in some jurisdictions. It may not. It does include utilities as well. That is one of the first items that is likely to hit in the next few days. The next item that's likely to hit in the next few days is the big money for businesses. There's a series of business grants that are about to go live. I'll have those in a second. But the $1,700 of financial aid for college students, that is currently live. Reach out to your financial advisor at school. Also live is the child credit, the $3,600 and the $3,000, the $10,200 tax refund. Yeah, now it's a tax refund. I'll have that late in a little bit because it takes a little. I'll have that later in this video. And also coming up is the other items that are about to go live. I'll have more about that in a second. But one of the things I want to cut to first for you is that between third stimulus and fourth stimulus, there are standalone bills. And among the standalone bills, you're going to see a lot of them. One of them you saw on Friday go to the mat. And that one was the student loan debt forgiveness. The student loan debt forgiveness got a push on Friday we have never seen before. As the President of the United States came out and admitted for the first time ever, he's allowing his education secretary to consider the legal validity of forgiving $50,000 of student loan debt for every American who has it, whether it's private or public. That determination will be made in 2 weeks. This is an executive order. This is a standalone event that is far before fourth stimulus. Also making news over the weekend, Chuck Schumer wants to do a pot bill. And he says the president keeps on blowing him off. And so Chuck Schumer says, I'm going to light something underneath his feet and get him to wake up. So Chuck Schumer wants to stimulate you with a pot bill. No joke. And that pot bill apparently will heat up next week. Also, one of the things I want to touch on right away, of course, is forced stimulus. Purple power, which refers to the push of this family, who I affectionately call Purple Power, is heating up. The new hashtag campaign, again, is MSC and hashtag MSC and hashtag Purple Power. Why and what are you doing? Why don't you take this video and tag the elected senators who are Democrats and tell them do reoccurring stimulus checks in the forced stimulus package. Here's what's going on. The forced stimulus package is the infrastructure bill or the climate bill or whatever you call it. It will be debuted next week by the president. It will not have stimulus checks in it. But when it goes to the Senate by reconciliation, which it will, 21 of 50 Democratic senators who lead the agenda of the Senate, who will get the other remaining senators on point, have said they're going to do an amendment. The amendment will be on that 2-day event called Vote-A-Rama. And during that amendment, they will put reoccurring monthly stimulus checks in there. This is not air. This is actually written. They've written this 3 times in writing. There's over 100 Democrats in the House who said they're going to do it as well. So what I want you to understand is the numbers behind this. If that bill landed in the Senate in June, and they did monthly to December at $2,000 a month, it would be $12,000. If they did it as $1,400 a month, it would be $8,400. Here's the things that are likely to happen. 1, it will be either $2,000 or $1,400 a month. Number 2, it will be till December. Number 3, it'll be for the same income thresholds we currently saw in the third stimulus package. $75,000 or less, $150,000 or less for a married couple. It would pay the same stimulus check for children as and adult dependents as single individuals. What's important in this numbers that you see here is the June factor. As the Purple Power, you want that stimulus bill to be in the Senate by June, if not May. As one viewer said, why not May? Well, yeah, I could get there by May. Nancy and Chuck have talked about July. If it gets there in July, you lose a month of a stimulus check. If it gets there in August, you lose 2 months of stimulus checks. Now, what's important to understand, moreover, about the importance of getting it there as fast as possible is this number. When you compare it to what happened in 2020, $12,000 is a lot more than almost all these numbers. $12,000 of reoccurring stimulus checks is 6 times the amount of SSI and SSDI. It's nearly the same amount as FPUC retro. It's more than hazard pay, which many may not have qualified for the full hazard pay because hazard pay was up to $10,000. And it's less than Lifeline grant, which never saw light of day under the HEROES Act. This push needs to get underway. So take this video, tag it and share it on social media and hashtag MSC, hashtag Purple Power, and get those senators to get this bill to the Senate as quickly as possible. Why is this movement so important? Let's listen into a video from the press secretary this week, which explains how the president wants to talk this out a little bit before moving, and why talking and not walking is not where the president should be. Let's listen.
It's fair, that we believe is fair, and what we're talking about here is making adjustments to the tax code to make it more fair, to invest in our infrastructure, invest in American workers, so that we can be more competitive over the long term.
And then lastly, today in Kentucky, earlier today in Kentucky, Senator McConnell was talking and said that the package, quote, is not going to get support from our side. He opposes the undoing of the 2017 tax cuts and said that, quote, I'm going to fight them every step of the way. So how do you respond?
I think there's some more questions to be asked. Does he disagree that our nation's infrastructure is outdated and needs repair? Does he disagree that we need to do more to put American workers back to work and to invest in industries that have growth potential over the long term? Does he disagree that 1/3 of the country who doesn't have broadband access should have access to broadband? There are a lot of areas where there is agreement with across the political spectrum, from investment in infrastructure, doing more to be competitive with China, and what we're really talking about here is how to pay for it. And so what we're looking for is proposals of alternatives. If you don't want to raise the corporate tax rate still lower than it's been over the last 70 years and across decades, if you don't want to do that, if you don't want to put in place a global minimum tax, what are the alternatives? We're happy to hear those proposals.
Here's the problem with what she's saying, and let me explain. As she was asked, Leader McConnell and also Kevin McCarthy both say they're going to oppose the bill. Okay, so the president has been put on notice. Republicans are going to oppose the bill. So what is the president going to do? Spend 3 weeks, 4 weeks, a month and a half, 2 months negotiating with people who say we're not going to negotiate, we don't want it? Why? The problem with that is twofold. Number one, every month is a stimulus check. That's pretty obvious. Every month he doesn't get the bill done, it costs you a stimulus check. That's pretty obvious. $2,000, well, that was a month. Another month, $4,000. That's sort of obvious. Here's the other problem with the situation, and this is the bigger one. You want the stimulus bill in the Senate as fast as possible before the economy rebounds, because if the Senate bill gets there too late, after the economy is fully rebounded, then some Democrats may get cold feet among the 20 and say, you know what, we're starting to look a little too good. We don't need all this stimulus. Here's what happened on Friday. On Friday, the new labor numbers were released, and this is what they showed. They showed that of 8 million jobs that are missing from this economy, in the month of March, we generated 900,000 new jobs. That's about 1 million. Well, 1 million jobs into 8 means in 8 months we could be back to full reemployment. That's fine. That rate we're okay even if the bill lands in the Senate in June or July, because we're not back to normal for 8 months. Here's the rub. A series of major analysts on Wall Street on Friday said that was March's number. The month before was 300,000. Then it went to 900,000. We think this month, April, it may go to 2 million. If it goes to 2 million, that means in 4 months, 2 into 4, 8 is 4. In 4 months, we could be back to full reemployment, which would be dramatically faster than anyone predicted. If that happens, what's 4 months from now? Yep, it's exactly when the bill's landing in the Senate under Nancy and Chuck's idea. You don't want the bill to land there that late, because if we're back or close to back to full reemployment, some of those 21 senators say, no, we're not doing reoccurring stimulus checks. We're back to normal. That is why Purple Power, do your thing. Push, push, push. We are back to pushing. Take this video and tag it on social media. Tag all your Democratic senators and say, no, Republicans don't want to do it. Don't wait. Go do recon right now. It takes about 2 months for a recon to be done. Do it right now. Get the bill to law. Get the reoccurring hashtag MSC, hashtag stimulus checks out the door. And away we go. I'll have more about that in a second, and more about what's going on with those 1,400 third stimulus checks, and also what's going on with that other money, a third stimulus, coming up in just a second. But first, here's a little bit about the community page and the money they can help you get right now. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on Mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now on Early Mornings LA. Breaking news you're hearing only this morning is the following. A new report released this morning reveals that on Saturday, 4 million vaccinations were done, which is a record single day in the United States. Now, understand a lot of people do vaccinations on the weekends because that's when they're dispersed. But that is a record for the United States. Meantime, going into Monday, the Dow futures are currently up 171. The NASDAQ futures are up 233, which would be about 2%. And the S&P is looking to climb more than 1% over 4,000 for the first time ever. The Dow on Monday will react first time ever to those financial numbers from Friday. But how are you? It's early mornings in LA. How are you doing? Happy Saturday. Hope you're hopping to it. The toast is toast and the butter is butter. And I'm here, you're here, and I may be in the live chat, so say hi if you see me. I might be there. If you've not subscribed, come on, subscribe what you're doing. Don't, just subscribe. Don't you have to tell your friends you subscribe? Yeah, as one person said, everyone in my neighborhood listens to you. I'm like, wow, really? It's very, very odd when the person said that. I think there's only 2 people that live in the neighborhood, but I was happy that the 2 people in the neighborhood listened to me. Also, like this video. Let's try to do 2,000-3,000 likes. That $1,400 third stimulus check coming. Let me tell you where and when. Mail checks March 26th late. They're still in the mail. Viewers got it on Saturday. Viewers got it on Friday. So give it some time. Then number 2, the April 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, and 5th checks, they look like they're on time still. If you have not gotten an April 2nd to 5th check, send me a private message on social media. Finally, we do have some new April 9th checks, so that may be you as well. Veterans, some people are asking me about the veterans. They are slated for that April. No, let me say it this way. The VA originally said that veterans were going to get their stimulus checks in the middle of April. I called hogwash on it when I heard it, and I was right. Yesterday I went live and I said hogwash on air, and one viewer said, "You're right, Al. My father is a veteran. He just got his Direct Express by Comerica alert. It's coming April 7th, next Wednesday." So I'm not even going to run that narrative. The narrative was that veterans weren't going to get into middle of April. That's no longer the case. Let me cut to then what's going on Wednesday. On Wednesday, the funds will be available, and away we go. If you're missing a stimulus check or a member of the household or anything like that, give it time because we don't know the clarification from Treasury. Now, let me go over the things that Treasury has clarified and says they need to clarify for you. They will need to clarify that missing third stimulus check if it does happen. We already know the way you get that missing first or second is filing a tax return. Now, one of the things they clarified last Thursday was the following. If you filed a tax return and you paid taxes on your first $10,000 to $200 of unemployment, they will be sending you a refund check in the month of May automatically. You don't have to do anything. If you have not filed your tax return, this is what you need to know. First, if you did not take out for taxes when you got your unemployment benefits each week, UI, PUA, and FBUC, then you're fine. You're good to go. You can go prepare your tax return understanding the first $10,200 is tax-free. If you did take out for unemployment and you haven't filed the tax return yet, IRS is going to get that advisory out in the next few days. The other advisory they're going to give out as well is that missing stimulus check. They're also going to give advisory how to inform them about a child if you believe they don't know that child exists for purposes of the $3,600 and $3,000. That's one of the next items to go live on the third stimulus package, which we're about to get to. For the children who are 5 to newborn, it'll be $3,600, paid $300 a month starting the month of July. 17 to 6 will be $250 a month starting in the month of July. But if you think IRS doesn't know the child exists, they're going to have a fix-it for that in the next few weeks. What else is about to go live in the third stimulus package in the next few days? The business stuff. There's the restaurant grant, which is based upon a very simple calculation of 2020 gross revenue subtracted from your 2019 gross revenue, up to $5 million per location. There's the EIDL grant, which is $5,000, 10 employees or less, a reduction of your workforce income, and then you get an automatic $5,000. And the one that's most likely to go live first is the shuttered venue grant, which is very unusual because there's no shutters involved and there's often no venue involved. Why? The shuttered venue grant does not require shutters and does not require a venue for some of its eligibility qualifications. You go to sba.gov to see that grant. You can apply for a preview of the application now on the website. The PPP grant as well got extended by the president on executive order on Thursday. What are the other items in the third stimulus package that you should be ready to get right away or soon? Well, hazard pay is not now. It is that earned income tax credit of $1,502 if you're age 19 or older and made less than $25,000. It comes off the 2020 return. Then the child care tax credit comes off the 2020 return, $4,000 or $8,000. But the financial aid for college students, you can get that right now. Reach out to your financial aid advisor at college. That's $1,700. Finally, paid sick leave. If you have to stay home because of COVID and quarantine, then that's up to $1,700 a week based upon a $73,000 annual salary. What's important to look at is this number. Here's that child tax credit we were just talking about, $3,600 or $3,000. Well, that's this time, third stimulus. Well, private talks have revealed that the president is considering doing this as a lifetime bill that would pay these children that money over their entire 18 years of life, from newborn to 18. That would be $65,000. If it sounds ridiculous, it is ridiculous. This is why you need to push for this money. Reoccurring stimulus checks. As soon as that bill gets in the Senate, all the way to December, make it as high as you can get it, $2,000, shoot for the sky. Try to get it as high as often and reoccurring every month in the mail from IRS. They say they want to do it. They've not given a number and they've not said how many months. But you don't want that bill there late. It's a lot more than SSI and SSDI, a lot more than FPUC retro, a lot more than hazard pay, and a lot more than the Lifeline grant. One message I want to share with you about that SSI and SSDI, which I talked about yesterday on Afternoons LA, is that along the way, someone must have misinformed viewers of this channel elsewhere, not here, but elsewhere, that SSI and SSDI, the idea of Elizabeth Warren would increase everyone's benefits by 20%. No, that's not what she said. It was up to 20% for some people, and a lot of people would not get the full 20%, may not even get a certain amount of percentage. Then the CPIE increase, tying your benefits to CPIE, that can be done at any time. But again, CPIE, increasing your benefits annually, would never ever pay anything as close to the massive $10,000, $12,000. All right. Meantime, what's important to understand is that this coming week you're going to see more videos from the White House talking about forced stimulus. And each time along the road, he will talk about everything but what's actually in the stimulus package for you. There was a new video released from the White House over the weekend, and the video detailed how to deal with the situation. Ironically, let me see your comments when you watch this video. My reaction to the video is it's very stale, it's highly staged. If you look, there's a filter that's used to make the subject, the background, and the lighting all the same color of beige cream. It's highly edited and it doesn't seem natural. But let's look to the content, and I have a few comments you'll see as we go along.
How will the country be different because of this legislation? And what difference will it make to me?
Well, modernizing the infrastructure in America will make a gigantic difference. Our roads, our ports, our bridges, our airports, our mass transit systems. And there's so much we can do, creating very, very significant jobs and good pay. But the most important thing is to put us in a competitive position where no one can outcompete us because we have an infrastructure that allows us to get things done quickly, safely, and in a modern way.
I know.
One of those comments right there is jobs, creating jobs. The question is, are these all heavy labor jobs on the highway laying pipes, building roads and constructing rails? Let's listen in more to what happens in the next two questions.
I know that President Biden just passed the rescue plan, and I'm just wondering how that differs from this jobs plan.
Great question. So the American Rescue Plan was an emergency package that was meant to, and is meant to, we're still implementing it, address the crisis we're living in. What the American Jobs Plan is meant to do is to invest in industries of the future, to rebuild our infrastructure across the country, create millions of jobs, ensure more people have access to broadband, more people have access to clean drinking water, and more people have assistance that they need to address caregiving across the country.
What kind of jobs does the plan actually create?
Here is a man of advanced age, again asking, what kind of jobs are you creating? Clearly he's asking the question possibly for himself. And again, the answer is heavy labor lifting, manufacturing, pipeline jobs are what are available for you, sir. Let's listen to the answer.
This plan will create jobs all around the country, putting people to work building things, roads, bridges, highways, constructing new housing, replacing lead pipes to ensure clean water for all Americans. It'll put people to work innovating in R&D and labs around the country, helping to create new discoveries in clean energy jobs of the future. And it will also help increase the pay and the dignity of the workers who provide care in our economy, caring for the elderly and the disabled.
How does this jobs plan tackle climate change? And is environmental justice being factored in?
That's such a great question. This jobs plan upgrades housing. It electrifies transportation, it invests in innovation, and it builds out the supply chains that we're going to need to tackle the climate crisis. And at the same time, it targets 40% of the benefits of this investment in the communities that have been disadvantaged.
Hello, President Biden. My question is, how will rural broadband work, and how quickly can the expansion occur?
This is one of the most common asked questions on this channel. How do I get free internet? How do I get better internet? How do I get internet access? And in this question, the viewer asks, how do I get better rural broadband? I've had viewers who have problems with rural broadband and domestic major city broadband. The answer from the president's incredible until you get to the date in which he indicates it's going to be available. 10 years from now. Let's listen in.
Idea that we're not in a position where we invest in loans and grants to companies and local governments and nonprofits and rural co-ops to be able to come into the 21st century with a minimum requirement of having access to the internet seems to be very short-sighted. So what we're going to do is the goal is to bring broadband coverage to every single home in America by 2030.
Why is the president doing a bill that takes you all the way to 2030 to give that woman broadband access when she's asking for it now? Not a particularly responsive answer. Drop in the comments what you think about the content in the message. Ultimately, the message was great, but the delivery time is a bit questionable. Waiting to 2020 to get internet service? I think her question was, 2030 to get internet service. I think her question was, can I have some internet now, sir? Mr. President, can I have some internet now? No, I'll have something available for you in 2030. Check back with me. Yeah. The $12 ice cream would be melted by then. Drop in the comments if you're happy to wait to 2030 for some internet. I'm not happy for you to wait to 2030 to watch my videos. I want you to be able to watch my videos now. So if you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe, because that means you do have internet and you did not have to wait to 2030 to get it. Also, like this video. You don't have to have shutters to get a shuttered venue grant. You don't even have to have a venue. It's one of those days which things don't really particularly make sense with words, but across the land, whether it's climate or highways or pipeline or heavy lifting for, what kind of jobs you got, sir, for me? I got some working on the freeway for you, sir. You can go work on the freeway and lay some pipes. Is that what you like to do? Yeah, I'd love to do that. Across the land, I'm going to ensure that you get some stimulus. I'm going to ensure that you stay positive and focused and informed as, boy, Monday's going to be a big day. It's going to be the first day that Wall Street is open since that jobs number has been released. And you're going to see the reaction of the markets to that number. You're also going to see the reaction of the markets to this huge number of vaccinations. Great news across the board. And as we go into a surprise big Monday morning, there's going to be a lot of excitement. I'll be with you throughout Sunday, Easter Sunday. Yes, I will be with you. So hit that subscribe button, like this video. If you've not become a member, consider becoming a member, and stay with Mornings LA. I'll see you at 9 o'clock. Stay with LA for more.